Good evening, visitors. The Duluth Aerial Lift Bridge is now lifting to its full height of 135 feet to make way for the arrival of the Walter J. McCarthy Jr. The Walter J. McCarthy Jr. will be arriving in approximately 10 minutes. Good evening, visitors. The vessel that you see arriving is the Walter J. McCarthy Jr. The Walter J. McCarthy Jr. was built as the Belle River in 1977 by the Bay Shipbuilding Company of Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. She measures 1,000 feet in length, 105 feet in width, and 56 feet in depth. She's powered by 4 3,600 horsepower, 20-cylinder General Motors diesel engines, which give her a top speed of 14 knots, or about 16 miles per hour. She's also equipped with bow and stern thrusters to aid her maneuverability in port. The McCarthy has 37 hatches on her deck, which open into 7 cargo holds located below deck. Each hatch covering measures 11 by 56 feet, and she has a maximum carrying capacity of 78,900 tons. Above her deck, that thing that kind of looks like a crane, is a 250-foot self-unloading boom, which allows her to unload her own cargo at a rate of 10,000 tons per hour without the aid of shoreside equipment. The Walter J. McCarthy Jr. is owned and operated. That one long and two short that you just heard between the bridge and the vessel is known as the Captain's Salute. The vessel initiates the greeting with one long blast, followed by two short, and the bridge responds with the same thing. The Walter J. McCarthy Jr. is owned and operated by the American Steamship Company of Williamsville, New York. She is named in honor of a retired chairman of the board of Detroit Edison Company, who is a major customer of the American Steamship Company. The McCarthy was the first 1,000-foot vessel built by the Bay Shipbuilding Company, and she was the 6th of 10 vessels built by the American Steamship Company under the Merchant Marine Act of 1970. Her design would be used in the building of the 1,000-foot vessels Burns Harbor, Indiana Harbor, and American Integrity. She was rechristened with her current name in 1990, and she's mostly used by the company to transport low-sulfur Western coal to Detroit Edison power plants. The Walter J. McCarthy Jr. is arriving today empty. She'll be loading iron ore pellets at the Canadian National Dock in West Duluth. The American Steamship Company is one of the largest American fleets on the Great Lakes. The company has a long history going back to its founding in Buffalo, New York in 1907. And they currently operate 6 out of the 13 1,000-foot vessels on the Great Lakes. If you see any crew on deck, make sure to give them a big wave and welcome them back to the Twin Ports. Once again, this is the Walter J. McCarthy Jr. built in 1977, measuring 1,000 feet in length, arriving today to load iron ore pellets. One more quick vessel schedule announcement. Now that the Walter J. McCarthy Jr. has arrived, the bridge will go down for a little bit, and then in about 20 minutes, we'll also have the departure of the Arthur M. Anderson. The Arthur M. Anderson is famous for being the last vessel to have visual radar and radio contact with the Edmund Fitzgerald. Once again, the bridge will go down for just a few minutes, and then in about 20 minutes, we'll see the departure of the Arthur M. Anderson.